I'm never gonna say no. What's up guys, Adam LZ here. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Build on the Drift HQ channel. We've got another very cool TSH auto car. This time it's an Audi RS5 and the driver, Andrii, is going to be telling us all about it.
First of all, I want to say thank you so much for having us here. We got here Audi RS5. It's model from like 2010 to 2016. It's full carbon Kevlar body. This car was built by TSH Auto and following all FD rules because we want to compete in FD. It's full carbon Kevlar body, as I mentioned before. It's very light. Problem is that nobody can buy this body kit because nobody makes it for the Audi. That's why we needed to learn how to make molds, how to make carbon fiber panels, and what we got.
And you might think having a car that's difficult to, get replacement panels, he would drive it carefully. Dude's an incredible driver. We've had the pleasure of turning many laps together. I'm actually really excited to hear more about the car because I've driven with you so many times. The car's fast, it sounds great, but I know nothing about it. Can we start under the hood?
Yes, sure.
That's not your average looking engine.
At all. So what we got here, it's VR6, 3.2 liters, and it makes right now around 800 horsepower to the wheels. We have Garrett G35 1050. We have nitros here, 50 shot. For our application, it's more than enough. Dry sump system here, intercooler, 2 wastegates. So basically, this car has 10.5 compression ratio. We run stock forged crankshaft.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what's stock compression on these motors? Because they're normally NA, right?
Yes. Normally it's an NA, and it was installed in Audi TT 2009, but VAC Club knows this engine from Volkswagen Golf R32.
So I've never actually looked at one of these. It's interesting because the architecture doesn't look like it's a V. It kind of looks like it's an inline motor. So the way that it is, are the cylinders technically inline but kind of like offset?
Yeah, it's like 15 degrees offset.
They're very cool.
It's kind of like V8. It's kind of like V engine with one head.
Got it. Very neat looking. So do these engines have any sort of variable timing or variable cams, or is it just
variable cams?
Okay.
Yeah, variable cams.
Dual.
Yeah, both of them.
Sick. So it's got to be pretty responsive.
Kind of, yes.
Cool. What else?
So we also run here Dodge power steering pump. I guess everyone runs that. If we're talking about the front suspension, we have FDF.
Okay.
But it's like, I would say it's like maybe third generation of the front angle kit, because first one we had a lot of bump steer, then we changed it knuckle. It also worked, but we didn't like how it steers. And this one, it's really, really good. Like, it's perfect. Also, this car has E46 steering rack.
Interesting.
I wouldn't say that it steers like BMW, because it's wishbone suspension, but it's very easy to drive. It's like basically this car steers itself. You don't need to steer at all.
Now this angle kit from FDF, Josiah designed it specifically for this car? Was like this is the first car that ever had it?
Yes, specifically exactly for this car.
Very cool. And if you haven't seen the other episode we just did, it was with a Porsche Macan, also built by the same shop, that runs the same steering angle kit, which is pretty neat. Two very different cars with the same kit up front.
Like totally same, everything same. It's just different subframes.
Got it.
But basically you can swap from the Macan, you can swap subframe here, and all bolts, everything like same.
Those are some lightweight looking brakes you got up front. That's crazy looking.
All CNC stuff we also made at the shop.
Really?
All CNC stuff. This piece, like for the hub, we made everything at the shop.
Very cool. So, all right, talk to me on the inside. What do you got for ECU, transmission? Wow, that door's light.
Yeah, you can remove it. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Even easier to film the inside.
So what we got inside? We have Link ECU, as everyone. We have D&D performance seats. We have a Golf handbrake. We have dog box, but it's not G-force. It's some Sonos dog box.
But it's H-pattern.
Yeah, it's H.
Interesting. I've never driven one of those.
Because we can't use like sequential if we want to go to the Pro spec. Yeah, we can't use.
I forgot that was a rule.
Yeah, it's a rule. Yeah, so that's why we have some Sonos dog box. It's 4 gears. It works awesome. You can't complain at all.
I see drive-by-wire.
Yes, very responsive. Very responsive.
Really.
No vacuum brakes, as everyone has. Pretty much that's it. And also we're on nitros here, but I already mentioned it before. It's right behind us.
Does the car make a lot of torque?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, a lot of torque. Before we had fuel tank in the back of the car, but we rebuilt whole car because first of all we're trying to fight with the weight, because this car pretty heavy from the factory, and right now with me it's 3150 pounds.
Oh, it's perfect.
Kind of, yeah, but
for
not,
FD.
Yeah. And we moved the fuel tank inside the car to have more balance.
Sure.
You know, and right now we have all weight inside the car. So even if you want to throw it like through the car, it stops immediately where you want.
Very cool.
Radiator in the back is CCF. Also, we got a new Speedtech quick change differential, FDF suspension as usual, but knuckles for the rear suspension, well, it's full aluminum knuckle. We also made it at the shop. Problem is that nobody makes parts for this car, and we needed to design everything, like
sure.
every bracket, everything. And the problem is that with this car, we need to build something, take car for the track, test it, we don't like it, rebuild everything again. Okay, that works. So as you can see right now, we disconnected sway bar.
Okay.
Because we only use sway bar on the tracks with the banking.
Got it.
Yeah, because right now with the new kind of suspension setup, sway bar makes car like slower right
sure.
now.
What's your favorite and least favorite thing about driving this car?
My favorite thing, it's, I would say engine.
Yeah?
Yeah, engine. I like how engine works. Like it has a lot of torque, and it's very responsive. With nitros, it's like, I would say it's almost like V8.
Really?
Even on your layout there, you can use third gear everywhere. Just you need to slip a little bit clutch.
Okay.
And go.
Sick. What's your least favorite thing?
Weight.
Weight? Yeah, I feel that.
Because I like very easy, like with the lightweight cars, you know?
Sure.
Because with the lightweight cars, you still can be faster.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things. I'm a heavy promoter of light cars because not only can they be faster, but it also puts less strain on like drivetrain components. So it's sometimes easier to make a car lighter than to make more power, and you break less stuff. But it's challenging when you're in a situation with a lot of these newer cars, they're so heavy that it's hard to get rid of the weight.
But no, one thing what I like, why it's heavy. Because one time we had very big accident on the track, and I hit like the wall, but in the corner of the wall.
Yeah.
If it would be like BMW, I would need to throw the car.
Really?
Yeah, because it was that bad damage. But with the Audi, like even subframes, everything was at that point where it's supposed to be.
Got it.
Nothing moves, just only like body panels.
Now, how common, like I don't know if I've ever seen anyone else drift one of these. Are you like the only guy?
It's first kind in North America pro competition drift Audi.
Got it. Does anyone even drift these for like grassroots stuff? It's not common, right? Because like stock, they're not great, are they?
Because problem is with the stock one, because it's first of all, it comes all-wheel drive.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And Audi design, it has transmission with the front differential, you know? So you can't even like swap very quick like transmission because the engine still is going to be so forward, you know?
Got it.
And you need to do a lot of stuff to make it like
well, that makes sense why it's not common then.
Yeah. But we made one. First one, Audi, was with a 2-liter engine with a stock transmission. We just welded.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But it was too heavy.
Yeah.
Too heavy. Like even the first generation of this car, when we first built it, and where we first competed with this car, it was first LZ World Tour in Canada. And that in that moment, car weighs, as I remember right, almost like 36 pounds.
Wow.
Or something like that. Then we decided, yeah, we need to do carbon fiber panels. And we spent like whole winter, I would say it almost killed us in that moment because we needed to make all molds, all panels, and we didn't know how to.
Well, it looks great.
Yeah, and it's pretty much flexible.
Very cool.
It works.
Well, I'm excited to drive it. I'm excited to see you drive it as well. So anything I need to know?
Pretty much that's it.
All right, cool.
How do you feel? I feel good. We'll see how car feels.
You can make it work, but you gotta drive like a dickhead. I felt bad. That was okay?
It's okay, everything's good. Don't worry.
Thank you for trusting me with this thing.
You like it?
I like it a lot.
But you don't like the shifter, yeah?
I think it's just because my shoulder on this, like, I'm also used to the G-force where I'm always pulling it towards me. So I think that's why I was going into the reverse gate.
Yeah,
but then once I just shift it straight back, it's fine.
How is the power?
Power's really good. Like I said, I think the gear's a little long here.
Yeah, it's long gear.
Or I think you could get away with a little more nitrous, or maybe like you said, the nitrous isn't working.
Yeah, could be, because you know we got yesterday a problem with the solenoid when we tested the car. Maybe nitrous right now doesn't work proper, you know, so. It's
possible. It's still really responsive though. You just gotta keep it on the pipe.
So you wanna do one more lap?
Sure, it's up to you. Is there enough tire? I'm never gonna say no.
Like, maybe one lap, maybe. Maybe it's gonna...
I got an idea.
How it steers?
It steers really nice. It's really good grip too. Like I think the chassis feels balanced, good amount of front grip, good amount of rear grip. You wouldn't think that this is like a one-off chassis driving it, right?
Yeah.
Like it feels like a normal drift car, which is the best thing.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time to make it work. You know, like we balanced car like a lot of times to make like perfect balance. Right now we have like 56 in the front.
Okay.
And 46 in the, like 44 in the back.
It drives very intuitively. Like you don't need to think about driving. It just does everything very like natural.
Yeah, only one thing, it's with the shifter, I know. Like it's very, very short, yeah. But we don't have enough time to fix that issue, you know?
Sure. Cool, well thank you for trusting me.
No problem.
Now you gotta show them how it's done. And that concludes this episode of Behind the Build. I want to give a special thank you to TSH Auto for not bringing just this car, but also bringing the Macan. If you didn't see that episode, check it out. Two very special cars, and the guys were very excited to share them with you. Go check out their socials. All the information will be in the description. Appreciate you guys, and let us know what you want to see from the next one.